with Betty
Galpin.
Galpin, over at the manor site, and the date is the 14th of May 2018. And Betty's given us all memories that she has when she came up here onto the manor when she was a child. When Lady Eve gave her sweets at Easter time.
Yeah.
So thank you, Betty, for that.
Thank you, Betty. It's lovely of you to come up to share your memories
being
with us.
nosy, I wanted to see.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
and Betty,
So many bits of trees and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Brilliant, isn't it?
different to what I know. Straight up through there.
that way?
Well, I'm a bit disorientated.
So St Thomas is that? You went to St Thomas, isn't
Yeah,
it? Yeah. So you would come from that
walked
direction.
down Lodge Road, well I don't call it Lodge Road, it's Lodge Road. Straight up, and that used to be all lined with daffodils, all like that.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, lovely. And still, I don't know if there's any there now, but there was about 10 years ago, there was still a few daffs and that up there. We all used to come, if you'd gone to church, so
that's
they
every
all went to
Sunday.
church.
That's facing Noak Hill. So this is what you'd see coming down. I do know that Flo Avery was up here as a servant. She worked in the house,
I know
and that
Flo
was her that was her bedroom.
Was it?
Yeah. The main drive comes through that way, comes round. So they would just been facing the fields going up, and then that's it. Before they pulled it down.
Yeah.
So
Polish army was in
it was
there.
Polish army.
Yeah.
Because I know the Royal Artillery were up here for a short period.
Well, I only recall the Polish army, and I only remember that because my brother and me had rabbits, and they disappeared, and my dad had wrung their necks and took them up to the Poles for their Christmas dinner because they had nothing to eat, and our rabbits had gone.
That's again. This is from Jean Avery.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's from her. And this shows there's the door that you would have walked through for the pond. So you've got the pathway there and all the stand-up roses.
I don't remember anything about flowers.
No.
I just remember that. I remember getting the sweets. That's what I remember.
See, now that one is a strange one for us because it's before you was born as well, 1911. And,
Yeah, it was.
but it shows all these as blinds coming down.
Oh.
And we can't work out how they
So
were.
it's blocked off because of tax purposes.
No, it was literally blinds, outside blinds.
Some of them are half.
So,
I wouldn't know about that.
and
Was it at Easter that you went? That you popped in for sweets?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Easter Sunday.
Easter Sunday.
that's a front lobby as such.
Well, like I say,
Yeah.
I couldn't remember what's
Well,
inside.
there's something that is puzzling us. If they had, I know you're saying you can't remember about inside, but we're trying to work out if they had a double staircase or a single. Because one reference we've got is a double, and no one say single. And yet, how can I put this? You're probably the only one that's around that can remember other than your sister-in-law. So,
Well, I don't suppose she'd remember either.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, what do kids take any
well,
notice
yeah,
of-
exactly, yeah,
of
yeah,
that?
yeah.
So the room that you got your sweets, was there any staircases there, or was it just
I
a room?
really can't remember a thing about it.
Okay.
No, I can't.
How about if I put a light on you and I'll get the truth.
You will. You need to
I
go.
don't know if I would even. I didn't even notice it. I don't think.
No, but you used to come up here every Saturday to
Oh, yeah,
go
when
to
the
the old
garden-
gardens,
Oh, yeah, when the
buy
gardens were there,
tomatoes
yeah.
and stuff every Saturday, didn't you?
A friend of mine, she ain't been down here long from London way, and she didn't know that ponds had pondweed on the top.
Oh, right.
And I looked round and I shouted, but she was in mid-air before she went in the water. There was no one else there except old Bob Moore, and I shouted out, and the chap who was the gamekeeper on this estate, he's in my father-in-law in the end, he came round and got her out of the pond. Because he was the gamekeeper on the end.
Right, okay.
Betty was saying she doesn't remember anything being in. There wasn't. Well, you do remember that there wasn't anything in the centre
No,
of
and
the
I
pond.
phoned my sister-in-law and said to her, Polly, do you remember if there was a fountain in the middle? She said no. But it don't mean to say there wasn't, because it could have been there before we were here. And I've seen a photo of it, my neighbour's been over, and she's took a photo of it as it is now.
Right.
But that was in the middle of the garden.
Right.
There, and it used to have a wall right round it.
Yeah. And there used to be a doorway in the wall.
Yeah, in the middle with a fig tree over it. And as you went through the door, on the right-hand side was the greenhouses.
Right,
And the rest
okay.
was a garden. Mind you, anything that was growing up there, we used to leave the weeds to protect them.
Oh,
We
really?
used to hunt for them in amongst the weeds.
Oh.
But I used to come up from the village and buy tomatoes and that on the weekends.
You used to buy them?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
From the walled garden.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because the gardener, he lived in the village just now.
Okay.
Silly old fool.
But he sold them to the public, you know, was it?
Well, it was just a bit went towards perhaps I don't know who had the money, but we just give them not much, a few pence, but it was nice fresh tomatoes, so who bothered?
So a bit of extra money for the gardener there.
Well, I don't know. I really don't know.
Do you remember fruit trees and peach trees?
Well, yes, somewhere in there was a mulberry tree, I do know that, but I don't know. There was a walnut tree, and they used to have fruit trees round the walls, I think. But I can't say. Again, the kids know this was going on.
But you particularly remember that there wasn't any changing rooms or anything like that over there. It was literally just greenhouses.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's interesting, because we thought that perhaps there might have been some changing rooms over there.
Well, there is a gazebo right next to the pond.
Yeah.
That was in 1948.
Well, perhaps that was.
Afterwards, yeah.
You're saying about Bob Moore.
Oh, yeah.
There's Bob Moore there.
Yeah, that's Horace.
That's Horace.
Yes.
I don't know who that is in the middle.
No, I don't know who that is. No. That's Horace.
Yeah.
He lived with his dad just now.
Jasmine or Rosemary.
Jasmine.
Yeah.
So what one sold the vegetables? It was him, was it? Great stuff.
During the war, he was an air raid warden.
Oh, right.
When the siren went, he shot off down the shelter. And when the all clear went, he came out blowing his whistle. He should have done it the other way around. He used to say, silly old fool, that's on my way again.
Oh dear. And you remember where all the dogs were buried, you were saying?
Yeah, that's just up there. But yeah, there used to be a little dog cemetery as you're coming through that, where the iron gate
Oh,
posts
yes,
are,
just
on the left-hand side, and they all had lead stones.
Right.
But they all
right.
vanished. Somebody's nicked them all.
Oh, okay.
They used to have their dogs' names on them.
So as you're coming from this direction, they'll be on the left-hand side?
Yeah,
Oh,
as you
okay.
come in here where the iron gate posts are.
And the
on
left-hand side.
Just
Okay.
Yeah, because I used to walk up here a lot.
Interesting. Right. I think that's helpful. Thanks for that.
So we might find some little dog bones.
I'll just
Well, you
think,
don't think you're going to be digging up the dog cemetery, are you?
get Tim going over there and milk detector,
Yeah.
and they've still got the collars on.
Oh,
Colours
yeah,
up
they
there.
probably have.
Probably have.
haven't they?
I don't know. I don't know if they had collars with
Yeah.
discs on there.
Yeah, we're finding quite a few, well, so we're finding some bits up here, metal-wise, so you never know. No. The,
You've not done anything where the priory is, have you?
no, that's all private now anyway.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, we can't get on that site. That's, Donovans have got that, that's their small holding. They've got a well, they've got a well up there, within their small holding, but it's all fenced off and whatever. Don't
Is
get
that-
anyone on there.
That's where they used to keep the goats and things.
That's it, yeah.
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 So did you ever go into that building?
No. Sister-in-law went in.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't. My husband's been in there because before Marriott's, I think it was Montague Turner
Okay.
in there, and he had a son, and he used to go away to school. But when it was the holiday time, my husband he was a kid then. He used to go up to play with him
Right.
up there, and he said we blew bubbles out these pipes.
Oh, right.
And he said, but they were the boy's dad, Montague Turner's Mersham pipes, and they was blowing bubbles out. He said he didn't tell us off. He went and got us some clay pipes, but he didn't tell us off.
Right. Now that's something we haven't found, and we keep on thinking we should. You know the clay pipes, you know, they're like for smoking and that sort of thing.
There used to be a lot about in the gardens.
I'm sure that we haven't found a single one. It's so annoying because we should do, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do they look like? Little brown things?
I'll bring
No,
some
white.
in. I've got some from London.
Are they sort of like bone coloured, are they?
That's it.
They're
Yeah.
whitey,
Yeah.
whitey, yellowy
Cla-
colour.
yeah.
Yeah.
What
They
did
start
they
off
use
white.
that for?
Smoking.
Smoke, smoke.
Plenty of smoke.
Oh,
You get really long ones called church wardens.
oh yeah.
I haven't got any of the bits, but we used to dig bits up in the garden.
Right. Okay. What this garden?
No, in our garden.
Oh right, you used to dig them up in there.
Yeah, there used to be bits like that all over the
Oh
place.
right. And
Because it was old cottages. I used to live in Checkers Road, Woodside
Okay.
Cottages,
Right.
but they're new built. Behind them was a couple of old cottages, old wooden cottages. So it's from that time, I
Oh,
suppose.
right. I presume they're not there now.
What, the old ones?
The old ones.
Oh, no. Because they belonged to the farm.
Right.
What's this?
Okay.
Farm. And they were pulled down. And the new ones were built in front of them.
Right.
And that's where I used to live.
That's where. Oh right.
Because I lived in Forge Cottage when I went to school up there.
Oh okay.
And then,
I know that. Yeah.
And my husband lived in like gamekeepers
Mhm.
down the place. That's got an old well behind it.
That's it.
Gamekeepers, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you could pump the water up out there. I don't know whether they covered it in or not.
Mm.
You know,
Where's that? Gamekeepers.
as you're going up towards the church, before you turn the church, before you get to the thatch place on the left-hand side, white woodly type building, that's gamekeepers. Yeah.
Is it on the left or right hand side?
As you're going up left,
On the left.
And so
Right up in
that's
the
where the
village.
gamekeeper
Yeah.
stayed. What, for the whole estate?
yeah, he was gamekeeper for this.
Oh, and that was your husband's
Yeah,
father.
yeah.
Oh,
Mm.
so
Your
yes.
father-in-law.
Yeah, so it was your
Yeah, it's a
father-in-law.
farm.
Yeah. How many years did he do that for? Do you know?
I don't know, before the war, because he was in the First World War.
Lovely.
So, well, until they packed up.
Mm.
No, that's not right because they packed up during this last war, but the estate didn't have a chute or anything then.
Oh okay.
It finished
Oh right.
because my father-in-law he was killed down near the Checkers.
It was killed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he had a little.
Betty, would you like me to get you a chair?
No,
I've got
sorry,
one.
a little motorcycle thing. I don't know what to call them, a little big thing.
Right.
And the boys kept telling him he was starting it off too quick. He wasn't doing it right.
Right.
And this is what he'd done down near the Checkers, and it shot him up,
Oh,
and he hit
dear.
his head on the wall.
Oh dear. They're
Right
awful.
there.
Oh, how old was he? Do you know?
60 something, I suppose.
Oh dear.
What a shame.
Yeah.
I suppose he had a crash helmet either, did he?
Oh, well, I don't know.
No.
So he was employed by the Neves
Yeah.
to go around. What was he doing? Just making sure there wasn't. What was the gamekeeper?
He used to rear
after
the
the
birds
animals.
for shoots,
Killed lots of
Oh,
animals basically.
really?
pheasants and stuff.
And everything. Foxes,
Yeah.
Oh, so he used to
badgers.
breed them and then
Yeah,
they used to
rear
release
them.
them.
And then they used
Look
to
out
shoot
for
them.
poachers and stuff as well.
So it's like it was a game then. So it was a game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the birds are games.
Yeah.
So, well, that's what he used to do.
Yeah.
He used to breed the dogs as well. He used to train the dogs. Because when the Neves, they went to Anglesey, and somewhere I think there's a letter to Billy's dad about the dog that he trained for him. And we were on holiday once, my husband and me, up in Suffolk and Norfolk, and we was right up at the end near Cove Hythe, walking around the fields, and there was a lady coming on there with some other dogs, and my husband got talking to her, and she knew of his dad for the breeding of the dogs, because he used to breed the gun dogs.
Was there any fox hunting at all? Fox hunts with all the dogs?
Yeah,
and-
oh yes, there was
You,
fox
you saw that, yeah?
Yeah.
Was that actually here? Or
Well, they used to be little gateways that had Essex Hunt on them,
Oh, okay.
through the fields up towards Navestock.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And so did you ever see them on the estate actually with the pack and?
Well, from up the village, you never saw what was going. You've got
Right.
to come right up that road to
Right.
Woodruff, and you didn't know what. I suppose they did hunt across the estate.
Yeah.
They
That's
only
myself.
didn't. They only didn't hunt if the farmers didn't give them permission.
Right.
But Yeah, there was the Essex Hunt used to come around here.
Oh, so the Essex Hunt it was.
Yeah, it's the
actually.
Essex Hunt. Yeah, and the gates, little white gates, and they had Essex Hunt.
Do you know if the Essex Hunt is still in?
Yeah, Essex Hunt is still good.
going.
Yeah. There's a ditch as such in Epping Forest called Neaves Leap, and it's named after one that Sheffield Neve, I think it is.
Would it be worth writing a letter to them? Have they got any archive stuff?
Well, I wouldn't have thought so, but possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just basically a ditch where the horses jumped over.
Yeah, but I mean, if they have any memories or photographs, you know, or here or.
Oh, yeah, for the Essex Hunt.
Yeah, for
yeah,
benefit
yeah.
that we
Yeah.
could benefit
I've got a
from.
chair in the
Yeah.
car.
Could I ask you to do that?
Yeah, we can do that,
Yeah.
find out.
Yeah.
They were part of the Essex Foxhounds and the Essex Staghounds.
Right.
So it's two different ones. And they're also, I think they were also members of the South Essex Hunt
Okay.
as well.
Because I mean, with the deer,
Yeah.
it must have had a deer. Then
Yeah.
it must have done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's far too many deer here now.
It's huge.
There
now,
is.
yeah.
Yeah, just seen a load of them.
Yeah.
They should cull them a bit, I think. Really, there's too many, and then they're all starving. Well, they come right down Petersfield in front of the shops.
No,
down the
I
road.
wish they didn't, but there we go.
Well, you can see them, can't you?
Yeah, I know. You get run over, don't they, and everything.
Do you have some memories of the Second World War when the V2 bomb dropped here, for example?
Yeah.
Was that?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do remember
Oh,
that.
you do.
I do remember that. Yeah, because we used to go sledging, you know, so it must have been winter time.
Right.
Over, we used to call it Quilter's Hill, and we used to go there. My brother and me was coming up by the side to come up towards what was the Priory to go through to Quilter's Hill.
Yeah.
And we got up there. There was all elm trees up there,
Mhm.
and I shouted at him, "Get down, get down!" And it was and they used to say you couldn't hear him, but you could because I heard it.
Right.
And we,
This is the V2, like the
the big
big
rockets, yeah.
So you
the
could
last.
hear. Because I've been told that you can't hear nothing.
Well, I heard it anyway.
So what could you hear?
I don't know, just a whooshing noise.
Like
or
a
something.
shushing noise.
I
yeah.
heard something because
Right.
I made him get down, and all the bits of tree come down us, and all everybody
Wow.
shook. We heard all the glass in the village, the windows breaking.
Wow.
So how far were you from where the bomb dropped? Then
Well,
you can describe
this
which area.
rocket dropped. You know, I don't know. Do you know when you come down? What do they call it? Noak Prison or something?
Yeah. Yeah.
Down the bottom there, as you come down the bottom, on the right there used to be a gateway up to the Priory,
Yeah.
and in front of you was the driveway that come
Yeah.
up here.
Yeah.
Well, we were up there, just going into the back entrance of where the Priory was,
Right.
and the bomb dropped on the other side of the cottages, the lodge. that
Yeah.
was
We
the
know
lodge.
we know exactly where it dropped. Yeah.
Well, that's where it dropped. Well,
Right.
we were just over the field a little
My
way, going up the
goodness
other
me.
side.
Wow.
And it all shook. Yeah. And
My goodness me. That was a lucky escape, wasn't it?
well, then I said, "Come, we better go home, Jeff, and see what's happened."
Yeah.
So
Mm.
we got home.
Wow. Goodness me.
And there was another one, I think it was a V2, dropped on the cricket field. I don't know what to call it now. Opposite what the school was in Noak.
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
where
yeah,
the school-
yeah.
Where it used to be the sports field. opposite
Okay.
it. But they had a lot of Nissan huts all around there in the war with storage stuff in it.
Mhm.
I think it was mulch and blankets and all sorts of stuff.
Okay.
But I think they saying they all got an idea that it could have been an airfield or something. It must have been sort of more or less directed
Right.
there,
Mm.
and it dropped over there, and our garden more or less backed onto that.
Okay.
And Mum was shouting me because I didn't hear a thing, but she wondered what happened to me. When I woke up, I was in bed looking at the sky. Our
Really?
roof had gone, and I hadn't woke up.
When you say the
Yeah, but
cricket,
do you
do
want
you
to
want to have a seat? When you say the cricket fields, do you mean the ones in Central Park?
No,
I
no
mean
kill.
in Noak Hill.
Oh,
opposite
Noak
where the
Hill.
school- by the church. You know.
Oh, up there?
Yeah,
Right,
Yeah, that was Noak Hill cricket ground.
right. Gotcha.
it's right opposite the school because that was also the
This is
school-
our
sports-
VIP seat, by the way.
So we know the other one
I
was
ain't got my name on it.
the other one was just where the will is, isn't it?
Yeah.
The other bomb
got a look
dropped.
on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. You got any memories of when it was occupied by the soldiers during the war?
Well, we
And-
weren't allowed up here. Then,
Oh,
but
no, I
they-
guess you weren't. No,
No,
no.
but they used to go up and down the road. I think
Yeah.
it was
Well, there were a
Brisbane.
lot of them. I mean, did you get the feeling that
Well,
they were swarming about and?
no, I don't think so.
lots
but
of coming and
there
going.
used to be several go up the road at a time on
Yeah.
Brindle carriers, I think.
Yeah.
they
Oh,
were.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there an anti-aircraft unit here as well? We used to fire at the aircraft. But you would have heard them, obviously.
Yeah,
if there
no,
was there a
no.
searchlight? Do you know?
No,
Right.
no, I don't when the raids were on, I used to, my dad, he worked away during the week and he'd come home because he was in the First World War, but he was doing the airfield at Bradford, you know.
Oh, okay.
Bradford on Sea.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he was working on the airfield there.
Was he in?
Because they had building and stuff and everything was commandeered. All the machinery was commandeered, and so he used to go down there and he had to do the runways for the airfield down there.
Was it? Sorry, I don't know the story. Was it just British soldiers? Did someone say there was Polish soldiers here as well?
I only
or?
know the Polish.
Oh, it's just Polish.
Yeah.
I didn't. Oh, sorry, I didn't know that.
Yeah, for D-Day there was a series of different troops. up
Yeah,
here.
I guess there's a lot
You had
going on.
the Royal Artillery up here that
Yeah.
based Polish. There was an RAF contingent up here as well.
Yeah.
There's a lovely story. When they were coming up here, they'd put signs up outside Pentone Farm, and some of the kids took the sign away, fearing that like Germans dropped down, they'll know where everything is, because the sign said Army HQ.
Oh, right.
So they took that away, and then the soldiers were marching backwards and forwards looking for their HQ because they couldn't find the sign.
All right.
So yeah,
I don't remember that.
yeah, that was one of the Paps told me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
he
that.
said it was him and his dad that were out there doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he told me quite a few things about like when they had the ARP had a big thing going up at Noak Hill behind Spicebits Farm, and it was like the Germans had landed and then on an exercise, and Mrs. Marriott from up at the Priory, she was the first aider in charge.
Oh, right.
And she was going around to all the locals saying, you're all falling down, you've been injured, you've been wounded, you've got a broken leg and what have you. And they banged up the bloke with the broken legs, like so his legs were together, put him on the back of the lorry, only to find out that he was the driver of the lorry, he had the keys in his pocket. So it was things like that, like, you know. And when the bloke was telling me, he was in floods of tears because he
Was that
couldn't
must
hear.
towards the end of the war?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I was older then and more interested.
That's right, yeah. But there's all bits and pieces, that's right.
Louis Stoll.
Yeah.
I told you about Lottie Knight, didn't I?
What's that?
When she used to walk through to Dutch and Little and go to whist drives.
Oh yes, yeah, coming back one night, yeah.
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 Well, she used to walk back through at night and she stepped over a log, but it wasn't a log, it was a cow and it got up.
Oh,
You can just
and that was up here.
oh,
Oh, right. Oh, so people could just literally walk through down this pathway?
Yeah, because there was a lodge up the end there.
Right.
And one the same on the Colchester Road.
Okay.
Exactly the same.
And the knees had no problem with that? You could walk through, as long as you kept to the path?
Well, they mostly was country people, and
Right.
nobody left gates open. You shut the gate behind you, or when you was up in the
Okay.
village, if you didn't shut your gate, you got a garden full of cows.
So you had no gamekeepers shooting you if you just set foot on the land? That's nice.
So it was
That's good.
open really, it's for everyone to enjoy.
Well, it was sort of a footpath straight through.
Right.
It wasn't really near the house. You
No.
could just walk through.
Yeah.
But it was only people from the village,
Village, yeah.
Yeah.
and they owned a lot of the village anyway. So.
Do you remember the vehicles? Do you remember the nice cars they had or horses?
No,
Do you
I
remember
don't,
horses?
because there was. Oh, I suppose they were the same as everybody else. Petrol was rationed and
Yeah.
things like that.
But even before the war, did you see horse and carriage or cars or
Well,
bikes?
if I did, I didn't
Do you
notice.
register?
Right.
I
Do you
think
remember
a
seeing
lot.
horses in the stables?
No, I don't remember that at all.
Did you ever go in the garden at all? The actual walled garden?
Oh yeah, I went in there a lot. Yeah, that's
Okay.
where that friend of mine jumped in the pond in the middle there.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so it had duckweed on it, did it?
Yeah, it was covered. It looked like grass.
Oh,
And she
really,
thought
yeah.
it was grass and run down the steps, and I turned around and shouted, but she was in mid-air.
Years ago, I took a dog from not up here, somewhere else, and the dog just thought it was grass, went straight in.
Yeah, well, she did. She ran and jumped off the steps.
Right. Yeah. That's interesting. So it's sort of duckweed, Don. I have to remember that.
So
Well,
it
then
didn't.
it come up all smothered in it, didn't
You
it?
Yeah.
didn't feel inviting to go in for a dip then. Really, it looked a bit. No, not at all.
Probably
No.
could have swum in that other.
What,
lake
the lily
over there,
pond?
Where they used to put the boat on. They used to go out in the boat. And that.
Is that
Right.
is that the lily pond?
Yeah,
No,
the
I
pond.
don't know
Oh.
what you call it. The one right in front of house. The house.
House.
Oh yeah, it would be
Lily Pond, yeah. Oh.
So they used to have boats on there, did they?
Well, it was just a little road.
We got a photograph of that.
Oh.
Yeah, there is, isn't there?
Yeah, I think it's Horace Moore's in the one.
Horace Smalls, is it? Oh, excellent.
Yeah, well, he lived up in the village, and I used to do a bit of cleaning up for him at times.
Oh, okay.
I'd do anything for a bit of money.
Yeah.
you know.
Of course,
Well, you
yeah.
did. You didn't get a lot of money on the farm.
So obviously Horace knew the Neve family then.
Oh yeah.
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 Okay.
Bet he used to come up here every Saturday to buy the tomatoes.
Okay, every Saturday.
Well, yeah, for the weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the point, because we've just exposed the kitchen, what we call the kitchen area up there. Can you remember anything at all as you come up past to buy your fruit and everything? So on your left-hand side.
Yeah, well, we used to go around, didn't go as far as the stables.
Right, oh, okay.
But that was sort of just up the side a little bit further up. I went along in sort of.
You said about the Easter and that. If you, again, it's from you and your sister-in-law saying that you had to go to the Sunday school every week, otherwise you couldn't take part in the May dance. And well, not the May dance, the picnic over here, the Neves put on for the kids. And who was it telling me? I think it was Mrs. Gildersleeve. Years ago, she had measles once, and she had a couple of weeks off the church, and she couldn't take part in the thingy. So even
Oh,
for
you mean
illness-
Gracie Gildersleeve?
Gracie, yeah.
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 Yeah, she's
So-
still Gracie Gildersleeve to us, but her
Well,
name's
yeah.
Mrs. Lovelace.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. So
Is she still alive?
Yes, but she's very old. Yeah.
Is she?
She's still 94, very old.
Yeah.
She was first old as far as
Can I ask what year you was born?
1931.
31. So you got,
I'm not quite an antique, getting all that.
but you've got very good memories of the period.
Selective memory, I reckon.
Well, you've got memories. We're grateful for that.
It's lovely to meet someone who has got memories. Do you remember it looking?
Swallows.
Yes.
Oh, do you remember it looking so grand when you used to visit? Was you overwhelmed with how big it was? And
Yeah. Did it seem imposing at all? Or you think, well, I'm going to the big house?
no,
Oh, really?
so it was
Just
just
matter of fact?
natural.
Care again, did they?
Well,
No, I think I would have.
was Lady Neve, was she friendly or
Yes, she had a lot
snobby?
to do in the village with the Women's Institute and everything.
But was she? What was her personality like? Was she friendly? Was she
Well, I only
bossy?
knew her then, and she didn't put you off.
She didn't put you off. She wasn't snooty. Or,
Oh no, she was.
Oh, that's nice.
Did she have children? She had one.
Oh yeah, I can't remember the names. I think I spoke to one of the last ones about the field up in Noak.
I
Yeah.
think one died in the war, I believe, didn't you?
Yeah,
Don, is that
there's
right?
Neves on the memorial.
Who
on the
died in
church
the
wall.
Second World War?
What, from the Neves?
Yeah.
No, First World War.
I was only the first.
Yeah.
Oh, so they all survived the second.
Yeah, the
that's
Second
good.
World War,
Oh,
Arundel
good.
Neve escaped Dunkirk, and at the time,
Did he really?
by the time he was getting out of Dunkirk, Sir Thomas had died. He died in May, and they were evacuate Dunkirk at the time. Their cousin Harry Neve was captured at Calais,
Right.
and he went through the prisoner of war system
Oh,
to
okay.
Colditz,
Right.
and he was the first Allied prisoner of war to make a home run.
And he was the one who got blown up by the.
And he got blown up in late years in London.
Isn't that terrible?
In the First World War, I think that was Kellam. Not Kellam, no, Tellor. Could have been Arundel or Kellam, one of the two of them. But there's a plaque up at the church.
Right.
He was in the Lancers, and he'd gone through the Second World War straight through into the First, as such. And it was his regiment that were involved in a not an uprising, but a mutiny as such in Dublin, I think it was.
Oh, okay.
Somewhere like that. But that was for the regiment. But yeah, and there's pictures of his gravestone and what have you online, things like that. It might even be on the website. But again, out of the people from around this area, there was only 9 from the First World War that were on the memorial at the church. So very few from the second.
Okay. I would imagine an awful lot of during the Sycamore War, the gardeners were depleted and the domestic staff. Do you think there was?
Well, I suppose if they were younger.
Yeah.
I mean, the gardener was old, wasn't he? So
Right. Yeah, that's true.
the only ones I remember.
Getting back to your father-in-law, was it in those three gardeners? Was he one of them? Your
No.
father?
No,
Oh, he's not.
No, I've got a picture of it.
In that
Oh, yeah.
book, there's a separate picture.
That's
of
right,
him
yeah.
with the
Right.
stone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
When then Harold Hill was first built, they caused a lot of trouble around the farms because they didn't know fencing trees and then having to break the trees down and run through all the crops.
I bet. Yeah.
So you remember when they first built on the estate then?
Well, yeah, because I worked at the electricity board then and typed all the lists for the places. We
Oh,
used
did
to
you?
do a lot of overtime
Oh, right.
for the places to be connected to the
You've
mains.
probably done it for my house.
I
Yeah.
couldn't remember, well, there was rings and rings of them. We used to have to do overtime Saturdays.
Interesting.
So you worked at the electricity board. Where was that? Was that Hilding?
No, it was, first of all, it was over the little shopping hall near Shirley's that used to be in Romford.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Up South Street it would have
Yeah.
been on the right hand side, and then that was got rid of and we went down to what they used to call the mains, which was all offices and buildings up beside the Havana Cinema.
What was transport like in those days? You know, commuting into Romford.
Push bike, I used to
Oh,
buy it.
really?
I was on bike.
Was it?
Yeah, but before that I worked in Ilford and I used to bike to Ilford.
Oh yeah, it was a long old trek, isn't it?
My bike was stuck in the tram.
Oh, the old tram. Right.
I know they felt very safe cycling on the roads as they were then.
It was either bike or walk because there weren't a lot of
Yeah.
buses in there.
Yeah.
Right.
There used to be every 2 hours, but every other one used to stop at the Bear.
Yeah.
Sometimes the driver would take you. Used to stop at night to pick my dad up and take him and his bike up.
Really?
We used to know the bus drivers,
Right.
even if it was. They took us up there once when it was snowing, got stuck in the ditch, and we had to get the tractor out and pull him out of the ditch.
But getting back to the trams, you must remember trolley buses as
Oh,
well?
yeah.
Yeah, trolley buses, they're slightly different than trolley
Oh,
buses.
the
Yeah.
pole,
Yeah.
Often they used to come off the rail and used to get out the pole and look back on you. But they only went to Chamberlain.
Last weekend I went up to a living museum in the Midlands area, and I went on a tram and a trolley bus, and the same thing happened. As they were going along, it all cut out. It said, "Oh, the poles come
thing
off."
falls off the line.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the trams were different. The last tram I went on was in Eltham, and they were wooden seats, and you could turn around because it had a cab each end.
Oh, right.
Wooden seats, turn
Yeah.
the seats around.
Yeah, yeah.
But Betty remembers contacting the Neves because one of the fields actually still belongs to them.
Oh, yes, that's right.
And it was your brother who had.
Brothers got it,
Yeah, it's Betty's brother who's got the field.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Right.
Yeah, and
He had it, yeah, but Neves don't deal with it now. It's an agent. I don't know.
yeah, but that'd be interesting to find the agent
Yeah.
because then we might be able to.
Might have some photos.
Yeah,
Possibly.
exactly. They might have some memories that they might let us
absolutely, yeah.
have or something. There's a connection there, isn't there?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, right.
yeah.
I don't know how long my brother's going to... Because the one that had it, he's died. And the other brother is keeping it on till he's finished with it. He can have it till as long as he wants.
What does he use it for?
Well, he used to cut the hay in it, and he used to do men's machinery
Oh,
there,
okay,
because he
that's-
didn't have much garden.
Right, okay.
And he had his sheds down there.
So it must be quite a big field.
Well, it's not all that big.
No.
It's big enough for what he wanted. It's the only bit of land left in Noak. As far as I know, it still belongs to Neves, but they don't have anything to do with it. It's just an agent.
Yeah.
It
Do you
used
know
to
where
be-
that is, Alan?
I've got an idea, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you actually encounter the Neat family?
Yeah, only Mrs. Neve when she give out the Easter eggs.
Yeah. Was that that's Dorina Neat? Is
I
that?
can't remember.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
a
that
kid.
lady Dorina Neat.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
What did you have to call her? Ma'am or?
I can't remember.
Well, you didn't say anything.
It's like, oh, thank you very
Mine
much.
was on
Yeah,
sweets,
just give us the
nothing
eggs.
Just thank you. Yeah. I hope you said thank you.
Yeah. I was well behaved. Used to get clout.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
My dad had a strap hanging on the all stone if we didn't
But
behave
was-
ourselves.
Did he?
Were you sort of? I mean, I don't know how how old you were at the time, but were you sort of in awe of her, or would you, did you think, oh, this is an important lady, or did you just like...
Just another lady.
Yeah, sure.
But Betty said she did a lot in the community for different.
That book of Don's is there's the book about the estate. There's pictures of her.
Yeah.
And obviously her mother-in-law knew her quite well because she ran the institute. And she used to do meals for when they'd have the shoot. She used to do it.
Oh, okay. So was she in the WI, Women's Institute?
Oh yeah. Well, it's either the Church or the Women's Institute.
Yeah,
Wasn't it?
right.
Was there.
I would imagine Lady Lee was the head person of the WI, I would have thought.
Well, I don't know.
No, I would have thought so.
Yeah, I should imagine she was, wouldn't she? Yeah. It's very interesting.
Would you like, if you're up to it, just have a look at the bit where you actually went through? There's the bay there. Can you cope with that? Yeah.
Yeah.
It might spark a memory.
Yeah.
A bit of a rough terrain, but
It's not too bad. It's quite dry, isn't it? So what are you doing in there, Alan?
this is the old kitchen wall.